Hi Utah parents, it's Corinne Johnson here with Utah Parents United, and I'm here to talk about the USBE model policy that passed, but more importantly, what's next? Where do we go from here in the state of Utah with HB 374, our law that helps protect our children from schools and pornography in schools? I think I could talk today, right? More information that you need to know on how to find pornographic books in your school, how to challenge the books, and how to make sure your school district gets the right policy in place so that we can continue to protect our children. So first off, let's talk about the model policy that was passed. There's been a lot of discussion around this policy. It took a long time for the USBE to get this policy passed. But the important thing that we want parents to understand is that this model policy was required of the USBE to pass because of the piece of legislation that we got through the legislature, HB 374, and it was sponsored by Ken Ivory, and this passed and became effective in May of this year, May of 2022. And it required the USBE to get involved and to do some model policy or create something to give guidance to schools. It also required the Attorney General's office to give guidance to schools on what is pornographic. So both of those things have now taken place. The AG gave his guidance last month, and now the USBE has fulfilled their part of the law and created a model policy. But the school districts still now have to do their part. So that's what's next. Each school district in the state of Utah will now create their policy for their school district regarding sensitive materials in schools. And the model policy can be a guide for these school districts, or they can completely throw it out. And we love local control. We think it's really important that you as parents have the ability to go work with your local school district to get policies put in place. So it's your turn to get involved. And what we would ask you to do is contact your school board representative. Your school board members are the ones who will vote on the final policy that will be implemented in your school district. It's not your superintendent, it's not the curriculum committee, it's not the book review committee, it is your school board representative. And they should be getting these policies in place and voted on prior to the school year starting. So you want to contact them right now and ask them to see a copy of their sensitive materials policy. Do they currently have one? When are they revising it? When are they going to be voting on it? And get that information. Once you have a copy of their policy, we want you to go through that policy and make sure it applies to Utah law. I will be posting some information below this video that gives you a series of questions that you can ask yourself as you read through the policy, critique the policy, and then prepare to give comment back to your school board member. We encourage you to send that comment by email and then CC all of the school board members on that email, and then also prepare to go give public comment at your next school board meeting on the policy and what you would like to see in your local sensitive materials curriculum policy. One other important thing to remember is that no matter what policy your school puts in place, they are still required by law to remove pornographic books from your school. And so we need you to continue to challenge those books and to hold your school district accountable to the law. Now, the policy will determine how you make those challenges, but the result should be that those books are removed. Unfortunately, we're finding in many school districts across the state that even with the implementation of HB 374, the school districts are deciding to retain books that are clearly pornographic under state law. An example of this is Davis School District, which chose to retain the book Red Hood. This book is it's abhorrent, let's say that, and it is actually listed abhorrent in our rating system. So how do you challenge a book in your school district? Well, our amazing education director and the brainchild creator, the hard worker behind Laverna in the Library, which Utah Parents United sponsors, is Brooke Stevens. And Brooke Stevens has spent thousands of countless hours doing research and work to help us as parents to protect our children from pornography in schools. And she's created a website, which is the Utah Hub for all book challenges and resources and book ratings for Utah schools. The website is called ratedbooks.org because we've actually used a rubric to rate these books, and then you can use this to go challenge that book in your school. And I'm going to give you guys a little peek at this website today here in our live so you can see how easy it is to get involved. So you want to go to ratedbooks.org, and here's our homepage right here. It's really great. Right on the homepage, when you go talk to your school, you're going to want to share with them, like, why is this so important to you? Why is removing pornographic content important to you as a parent? And there's some wonderful resources here. There's a video here talking all about the porn pandemic, quotes on pornography, and our own statement from our Utah Governor Gary Herbert on the resolution of why pornography is a public health crisis here in the state of Utah. These are important resources you can use to set up the conversation with your school board member. So that's on our homepage. Okay, next, you're going to want to look into our rating system that we use. So the rating system that we use, we've worked with national groups and parents across the nation to create this book rating system. It's based on the MPA rating code, which is what they use for movies and games and other things like that. Our hope here is that eventually we can get national legislation passed that would create a rating system nationally for all books so that we can protect all children from pornographic material with warnings and labels. So this is about the process we go through to rate, and this is the rating system here that's used. Books are rated 0 through 5, and it lists the type of content that are in the books. So for example, 5 is this abhorrent sexual activities rating. That's what Red Hood gets, and that's the book that Davis School District decided to keep in its school library after it was challenged by parents in Davis School District. And then here's some examples of some books and the ratings that are behind them. What's really great is that you can click right on the slick sheet, and it will actually give you the whole breakdown of the book. It will explain exactly what page numbers, what numbers they are, and how how it's rated and why it's rated, what it's rated. So this is a really fantastic resource we have here. Let me go back to our homepage. Okay, so the next thing you can look at is you can browse additional book titles here. So you can browse all the books that have been rated. In order to rate these books, the readers that use this system have to read the entire book. And every single book has been read in full to be rated. And so it takes a lot of time. And so we update this catalog roughly about 3 to 5 new titles per week, which is super impressive. And we've rated over 200 books to date. If you're interested in helping be a book rater and be willing to read books and rate books, please let us know. There's a contact at the bottom of the website here. You want to contact Mary in the library. Let me scroll down to that so you guys can see the email address, and I can list it too. Come on. There we go. Should have gotten my mouse. Oh, seriously. Mouse. Where are you? Keeps on scrolling back up. There we go. Okay. Oh! You guys are very patient. It's Mary in the library. Here we go. There it is. Mary in the library USA at gmail.com. Okay, so that's our national web page for the national book rating. So Mary in the library at usagmail.com if you want to help with the book rating process. We need people who are willing to help us rate books. And it's really great because this is a resource that is available to parents all across the nation to use this. And so what the work we do in Utah is having a huge impact. So next you go to book locations. Book locations is fantastic because this is all based on Utah. These are the Utah maps that Brooke has created. This is a little video, how to search for books. And then these are the map of obscene books by school district. This is so cool. You can actually click on your school district. So I'm Davis. And then you you find your school, and it will show you the books that are in your schools and what the ratings are. Isn't this amazing? It's just incredible, the work that's been done here to create this resource. All volunteer time because we care about kids. We care about our children. We care about your children. And we want to make sure that children are protected from pornography, the plague of pornography. Then after this, you want to go to the challenge tab. Once you find the books in your school district, this talks about HB 374. And it explains how to challenge a book. Again, the steps are listed right here for you. And there's also a video of how to submit a media challenge to your school district. We have a couple forms, like if you're in Davis or Alpine, we have the forms right there. And you can also go to your school district and find your form to challenge your book. This also lists Utah code. This tells you at the top what HB 374 did. And HB 374 made it so that anything in this code below us, which is the code which describes content harmful to minors, that's what this code is down here, that this applies to school, any of those items that are in a school, that literature has no serious value to minors. So you don't have to go through this process of saying that if taken as a whole, this book has value, because it has this pornographic content in it. It's deemed to have no serious value to minors in a school setting. So again, this doesn't apply to a public library or to your personal home or to a bookstore. Or Amazon. This is just in a school setting. So this is the process to challenge a book. So we encourage you to go challenge books. Challenging books also will help your school district refine their challenge process. If they don't have parents challenging books and using the challenge process they have in place, it will be more difficult for them to refine that process, to get a really good sensitive materials process in place. And if you've challenged a book, you will also be more able to comment on whether or not you thought the process went well, that it didn't go well, how well did it include you as a parent, did you feel like you got the result that you needed to get from the challenge, how long did the challenge take? Those types of questions you'll be able to answer if you complete a book challenge. Another thing that's really important to us is to provide options for parents that are good. We tend, we always focus on the negative, right? But there's so many good books, so many good things that we are doing, that we have access to as parents for our children. And so we want to make sure that you can see these options. So we have some lists here for you to look through to find good books on all sorts of diverse topics that will teach you and your children about the world. Teach our children without the pornography. I think it's really important that we make it clear that we can teach our kids honestly and openly without exposing them to harmful, addictive, pornographic stimulants. And we should, as parents, we should be able to expect that is what is provided to our children in an educational setting. So this is a very important page, but we want good books for our kids to read. And this is just for fun, so you guys can see all the book rating teams across the nation that we work with to do all of these things. Here's the Facebook pages that are all across the nation that Brooke has helped set up, and all the work that we're doing. And it's just an incredible thing that we're doing this here in Utah, and then helping parents across the nation in this. So I really was excited to share this with you guys as the next step. This is what is next. The USBE's model policy is just a tiny piece of this puzzle. The reality is that in order to make change in your school, it's going to take you getting involved. And you need to be working on a local level with your local school board to make sure you have the best policy and that you're challenging these books and sharing information with your friends and your neighbors about this. I found this has been a really easy topic to share. People are always asking me, what are you working on? What are you doing? What are you involved in? And when I talk about HB 374 and the pornographic books we're removing, they always get excited. And now you can send them directly to this website, ratedbooks.org, and they can get involved immediately and start making a difference in their local school district and make a difference for children in Utah. So thank you everyone for watching this today. Please share this video so that more people can know what to do. And we look forward to the beginning of the school year with all these resources and tools in place. It is kind of bittersweet to know we're going to go into the school year with many of the books that we challenged last spring still on the shelves. And that can feel really upsetting in a way, to be like, we've worked so hard to protect our kids and they're going to go into these schools and the books will still be there. But we don't want to get discouraged. We want to know that we are just continuing to move forward, and step by step, bit by bit, we can encourage our school districts to remove these books, to follow the law, and to protect kids. Thanks everybody. Bye.